Hey guys, I'm going to answer some questions about YouTube that I got from ChatGPT, and hopefully this will be a fun dialogue. So, when was YouTube founded and what was the original vision for the platform? So, I don't know exactly when YouTube was founded, I'd have to look it up, but I think it's around '06. And I think the main vision for it was a way to share video. So it's really nice to have a server that's not on your website to share video. That way you don't have to pay too much for your hosting and your hosting company doesn't drop you because you're using too much of their server space. What were some of the earliest viral videos on YouTube and what made them so popular? I think it was just some funny videos that would, you would pass along by word of mouth in school. A lot of times it'd be maybe videos where you saw a ghost in the corner and you're just waiting for it to happen. And of course, you had those jump scares. And music, honestly, I used YouTube for music a lot back then. How did YouTube's user base and content offerings evolve over the first few years of its existence? So, some of you may remember, but you used to be able to put a photo behind your channel, just kind of like MySpace, and I loved it because you would be able to customize everything. And the content offerings over the years, it started to come when you would start actually going there for information and not just funny videos. And that's when I really saw the opportunity in YouTube, was when people could learn a new skill like the guitar or something like that, and they could actually use YouTube to further their pursuits in life. So when did YouTube start to become a serious player in the world of online video, and what factors contributed to this growth? I would say that it was pretty much always a serious player because this was a place that you hosted your videos and shared from. Now, there's other places like Vimeo, but this one, YouTube, is more of a social site and you could comment and then scroll through comments. And a lot of times, the entertaining value comes from scrolling through comments and liking them. And I think what contributed to this growth was, you know, it took it a while for Facebook to actually have videos, so you could share videos on there. And then even Instagram didn't have video until more recently. They were more of a photo site, so I think YouTube was always really the video place that you went to. And when you had Netflix if you wanted to watch movies, but now with, if you own rights, digital rights, you can watch those same movies on YouTube most of the time. What role did YouTube play in the rise of internet celebrities and social media influencers? So, a lot of you probably know Justin Bieber. Well, he was discovered on YouTube, and he's not the only one. When Journey needed to replace their singer, they found someone on the internet who was in an Asian country that did karaoke, and the sound was so similar that they were able to hire this person and add them to the band, and then they toured together. And it's quite remarkable what you can do with YouTube and connect people to find and create new celebrities. And social media influencers, I think YouTube used to be the main place that you would get those social media influencers, and then it went to Vine, and then the Vine people came to YouTube. Now you have TikTok, and that's the main, head honcho for video right now. But I think video, it's every platform is adopting video right now, especially even Twitter is trying to get video as a big part of their social media platform. So I think that YouTube being the first video place, it's like the home base that everybody goes to and knows growing up. How has YouTube impacted the entertainment industry, and what are some examples of successful YouTube to Hollywood crossovers? So YouTube has a very good content rights platform. They've always been able to, flag something if it has video in the background of music that you shouldn't have on your videos. One funny thing is that there was actually the song Susudio. Well, the actual bassist, he had his videos flagged for that song, even though he's the one in the recording playing the song. So it's kind of funny how touchy that system can be. But now with these new settings, you can do revenue share with any kind of Hollywood stuff in the entertainment industry, and I think a lot of times when it comes to Hollywood crossovers, if I'm gonna go watch a movie, I usually watch the trailer on YouTube first, and I remember doing that back in college. So this is at least 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, but I remember if I was gonna go watch if I was gonna subscribe to something like Showtime or Netflix, I would see the trailer for everything before on YouTube. So crossovers, there's definitely been a lot of people who have been in Hollywood that have decided to create a YouTube channel, and they've been successful. As you can tell, Will Smith did that, and there's a lot of people that do that, and it's really fun to see big stars that you grew up with being on YouTube, something that anyone can be on. What controversies and scandals has YouTube faced over the years, and how has the company responded to these issues? So these are just personal opinions on what a controversy or scandal could be. I think the year in review was a big kind of controversy because it picked their big players and not so much what was actually the fans' favorites when it came to YouTube. So I remember the year in review being pretty good around like 2012 or 2011, and it was be like, oh yeah, I watched that guy, or like, oh, I totally know that, or I know that person. And then it slowly sort of got to the point where it was just these big names that we didn't know, and then videos that may have done well statistically, but I don't even recognize anybody. But I think that happens with the growth of the company. There are a lot of people that I find and I've never seen before, and they already have 1 million subscribers. And to me, that's crazy because there's only like 40,000. There's 40,000 like millionaire. I mean, not millionaire, but million subscriber channels, and it's crazy that you can find somebody that you've never seen before and they've already achieved basically the top of YouTube, because most people aren't going to get the 10 million button, but who knows, maybe once everybody's on YouTube they'll be able to do that. But it's crazy how the scandals happen, specifically when it comes to creators who forget who they used to be, or they forget the feeling of when they first started uploading to YouTube, when they first got their 1,000 subscribers and they were excited and they were creating videos like thanking people and loving their fans, and then all of a sudden they become sort of a prima donna and they think that they can just get away with anything, saying anything. A lot of channels that I used to watch that used to be business channels, they've sort of, or even fitness channels, they've devolved into something more like a news reaction channel. And I understand that content is hard to create because you look at your back catalog and you don't want to repeat anything, so you're constantly trying to come up with new ideas. But I think it's pretty easy to just default to reacting to things, and honestly I think anything can be a scandal when you have somebody that is well respected reacting to just news that they find on Twitter. What is the role of YouTube's algorithm in shaping user behavior and content consumption patterns? Well, as you noticed, you have this page that will feed you a bunch of different videos. Maybe you watch a video on one topic and all of a sudden you're seeing videos, like a whole feed of videos for that topic. It's not so much who you subscribe to anymore, although you can click on the subscriptions page and see all of the videos for that. But especially when it comes to shorts, the algorithm is pretty, it likes to test things, and it likes to test things fast when it comes to the shorts algorithm. So I've heard if anything is over 6 hours old, that it's no longer considered viral, at least in the Facebook world. I don't know what that means in the YouTube world, but a lot of my videos sometimes will continue to get views just because something happens and it gets called up somehow in the algorithm again. But it's really shaping what you watch now. I've noticed some videos that I've skipped over that keep getting presented to me even though I don't want to watch them, and then I have to finally click and tell them that I don't want to watch them. And even some creators that I say I don't really want to see this channel anymore, I still see their stuff pop up in the search results if I type anything in. So the algorithm is really the all-powerful being in YouTube now, and it's not so much what is popular or trending. I remember when it used to be all of the trending stuff was shown to me, but now it's very personalized, um, down to the hour that you watch something, they will respond with something else. And how has YouTube adapted to changing trends and technologies in the online video space, such as the rise of live streaming and mobile video? So they have shorts now, and that's their sort of rival to TikTok and Reels, and I actually prefer watching shorts because I can scrub through the video and find what I want to see, or if there's something that I hear that I need to hear again or watch again, or I want to look at it again, I can always scrub back and I don't have to wait for the whole video to loop over again. So that's why I love shorts. And when it comes to live streaming, they've sort of taken on some of the Twitch properties with emojis. You can join a channel now and get these cool emojis that only people that are a member of your channel can do. Now they have to have monetization, but once you have that, you can, even just for 99 cents a month, you can have these emojis and these badges that say how long they've been a member, and I just love that. And you have the super chats, which is helpful. So I really think that they have adapted to the trends really quickly and very effectively. I think that has to do with the fact that they are, a part of Alphabet, which is a part of Google. How have YouTube's advertising policies and revenue sharing models evolved over time? And what impact have these changes had on content creators? So in the very beginning of YouTube, there were these really big YouTubers and they had video ads. They had monetization. And I remember when I started in 2011, I had a ukulele YouTube video channel before that, but when I actually took it seriously with this channel, I wanted to, get to that level. And then I was accepted into this new program where they would put ads on just a few of my videos. So my most popular videos had ads on them, and I was getting a nice revenue share for it because nobody else had video ads. So back in the day, you only had a few people that had them, and these were these pre-roll ones. And it was also an election year, so there was a lot of spending going on in Ohio, at least. So it was really good. And then they started to put ads. Anybody could have access to ads if they were hit a certain level. And now they put ads on things even if you don't get paid. So if I used to be monetized, but then I went dormant for 6 months, and then they took my monetization away. And so now I might have ads on here, but unless I've been monetized, I'm not going to be able to get the revenue until I hit those goals of watch time. Until I hit those goals, you'll see ads, but you're not going to be really supporting me for them. And they also have YouTube Premium, which I love because that means I don't have to see any ads, and they do give a kickback to the creators, which is useful. But what I really love is not getting ads in my videos, especially when I know that not everyone's getting paid for those ads. So I'm watching an ad and sometimes I don't even have control over it, especially if you like meditation videos. You need to get the YouTube Premium. It's really worth it, I promise you. And what are some examples of influential YouTube creators who have built large, engaged audiences around specific niches or topics? again, with that algorithm, almost everybody has a certain niche, and once you are in that niche, you'll get recommended along other people in that niche, and it's really great to grow audiences. Some of the most unique ones I've seen is like lawn mowing services. They can provide a service for free and then still make money because people watch it in a sort of meditative state. Watch them change a overgrown yard into something beautiful, and that's just one niche on YouTube. So, and it's pretty large, and that's what's great about YouTube. There's definitely more support. If there's something that you want, you're gonna be able to find it, and it's I think another example would just be, if you're trying to work out, you can create big audiences around your workout schedule. So whatever hobby you have, you can probably make a YouTube channel around it. I know that some people who would crochet, and they made more money crocheting than they did selling on eBay their crochet supplies and stuff like that. How has YouTube impacted politics and social movements both in the US and around the world? So, like I said, the ads, they have ads that people can buy if they're a politician, and with Google AdWords you can be specific about who you're trying to target, so that's one huge one. Paid media. Social movements, I think a lot of it has to do with, again, those niches. If somebody is on one side of the political spectrum, they're going to be able to find exactly what they want to see, because it's really easy to be paired into a niche based on what you watch. So it really has impacted it, and when it comes to social movements, I think when you have creators that you connect with, that you feel like some sort of connection with, you may have them have a video that explains a social movement that they're interested in or that they're participating in. So I really think it does have good and bad implications for the, politics as a whole. And what are some notable YouTube collaborations or partnerships between creators, brands, or organizations? So I think we all sort of remember those Old Spice commercials. Well, most of those times we were sharing those videos from YouTube. I think that was like the first ad that I watched purposely on YouTube because they were so funny, especially the video where they explained how they shot that commercial. And the guy was actually doing all these they were kind of like stunts, going through all the different scenes. The scenes were going past. And another one is, the unicorn and the what is it, that little step stool that you put near your toilet. That one is a big one that was super popular. And then you have, see, I've had YouTube Premium for so long that I don't really know any of the current ads that are running, but I do remember also just that was it Squatch. I see them in stores now. So that soap, or like, this is a dish. You don't wanna smell like a dish. Well, now that's in stores and I see it, and I see guys who, like, their girlfriend's looking in the makeup aisle, and then all of a sudden they see they smell the pine, and then they stop and look, and then they look at the whole display because it's something they recognize from YouTube ads. So there's tons of collaborations you could go over, but those are a few of the ones that I know. How has YouTube dealt with copyright intellectual property issues over the years, and what impact have these policies had on content creators and rights holders? Like I said, they're very touchy when it comes to copyright. Intellectual property, sometimes you have to actually now they have videos and they can pop up, hey, this video looks like your video, is this your video? And then you can easily delete it. But I remember when I first started, there was somebody that tried to impersonate me and stole my videos, but it was sort of a parody account. I easily got it taken down, but now I don't worry so much about it, especially when I'm making so much content for Amazon as well. There's just so many avenues for people to steal things. As long as I get my face out there, that's really all I care about, because that's the brand and I can't control what other people do. So they do have some really good tools, but like I said, the one big thing would be when people were doing covers and they were afraid of their entire channel being deleted because they were doing a ukulele cover of something. So I used to do covers with the ukulele back in the day when it was popular. And it's just an instrument. First of all, it's not even a guitar. And it's tuned in a higher pitch usually than the song, and you're just singing and playing four strings, but the stuff would be taken down because of copyright issues. And I'm like, nobody, I mean, I didn't have ads. I don't think most people that were doing ukulele covers had ads, and even then, they may not have been putting them on that. It just seems silly that they would have these things. So in the past, they've had some problems, but now they've got revenue share, I believe, and you can either buy the rights to it or you can do a revenue share based on views. And I just love that. Finally, I think they fixed it. Hopefully, well, we'll see. But I definitely love the fact that they are adapting to, especially TikTok. Everything is copyright there basically, and now you can react to people. So we've always had sort of Creative Commons license to stuff, but now you can totally be more creative for things. What are some of the most innovative and successful marketing campaigns that have been launched on YouTube over the years? Innovative? I think maybe definitely that stool was the most popular one I can think of, and successful marketing campaigns. You've seen a lot of them, but of course there's some that just become memes, like knowledge, like here I am in my garage. They become part of our pop culture, so I would say that would be successful just merely for the fact that people can joke about it in other ways. And innovative, I think maybe if it was something like maybe if it was a 360-degree video that you can do, which is really cool. But I remember being able to do that with my Microsoft Encarta 95 or 98, yeah, 95. So I remember 360-degree videos back then, and that was when you had CDs that you put into your computer and you heard it, so you had to listen with headphones to get over the noise of your CD-ROM drive working. And it was a 360-degree video. It was a hot air balloon, I think. And I was just amazed by it. And now you have, all sorts of things that you can do. So I think that would be more of an innovation than the creativity. How have YouTube's content policies and community guidelines changed over time, and what impact have these policies had on creators and views? So the children's YouTube has been a big thing. I've known people who used to be sort of mom vloggers, and now they can no longer do that because there's children in the video and there's just too many weirdos in the internet that make that a problem. And therefore you can't comment, you can't even save. There's some videos that I want to save for later to reference, and then I realize that they've somehow been put on YouTube Kids, and it's annoying, but I understand why. So that's a huge one that they've had to work on. And it has affected creators. It completely changes their channel. They have to come up with something else, and their viewers, and all sorts of things, because you can't be targeting kids for ads. And it's just, that's the hugest one, the biggest one I know. What are some of the most notable mergers and acquisitions involving YouTube or its parent company, Google? So YouTube, I think in some ways, like, this is not an official merger or acquisition, of course, but there were a ton of popular YouTubers that used to be Viners, so they used to be popular on Vine. So like the Paul brothers, Logan and Jake Paul, they were popular on Vine, and then they became YouTubers. And they're not the only ones. A whole bunch of them are like that. And I think also when it comes to TikTok, a lot of TikTokers have become YouTubers. Like Foot Doc Dana, she's blown up. I think she has, what, 2 billion views maybe? I know she has, no, maybe she has 4 billion. I know she has 2 million subscribers. Around, well, more than that, but it's crazy how these aren't even official mergers or acquisitions by the parent company at all. These are just people that they've sort of gotten over, and it's the same content, but they are able to make ads and make ad revenue off of them and collaborate with them. And I think that's more of a headhunting thing, not so much a merger and acquisition, but I feel like those are probably more notable than anything else, because the content is key on YouTube, and having people that make content is really what YouTube needs. And it especially with the shorts, they are on fire right now. So my long form content will be in this horizontal space, but as you can see, this is 4:3, and this is what I originally started recording on YouTube because my webcam recorded in 4:3. It was probably 720p as well, but this is 1080p 4:3. I think this would look better on phones, and if you do want to look at TV, you're going to see they adapt it so that it doesn't look so weird for the screens on desktop either. So I think when it comes down to it, it's really all of these shorts are coming up, and Viners and TikTokers are the biggest, I think, even though they're not technical mergers and acquisitions. How has YouTube influenced the way we consume and interact with media in the digital age? It's definitely the place that like I said, I watch trailers on YouTube before I watch anything in the theater. And when it comes to media, if we're talking about ads, I don't see ads anymore because I pay for YouTube Premium. So if they're trying to talk about that, it's really down to familiar. You see the same ads over and over again, and you can talk to your friends about them. That, I think, is a way we consume media that a lot of cord cutters, so people that don't watch cable or TV, they still see ads on YouTube. So media buyers can still have success on YouTube even with the premium, and it's probably way better than your traditional TV ads. And when it comes to the way we consume, I think it's on demand now. Anything that you want to watch, you can watch on YouTube. Even movies and TV now. So at any moment time when you need to, you can watch that video that your favorite YouTuber has uploaded, and then you can watch some more. So if you have a break in your day, you can watch it. You don't have to watch whatever's on TV, which is in daytime, it's usually bad TV. So YouTube has completely changed it because everybody is personalized and in their own niche, watching what they want, and they get more of it. So it's completely changed the game. What do the next few years look like for YouTube and the online video space as a whole? I think Shorts is going to take over. As I speak, I've been seeing Shorts in the sidebar, which is the recommended, which is where I got most of my views from my popular videos, was recommended. And I've also noticed when it comes to search, it's the third. You have 2 horizontal videos, and then you have just a rack of short videos. And on mobile, there's 2 for that third position, and then on desktop, you can just search through a bunch of them. So I'm going to be focusing mostly on shorts for my content strategy to try and get back to monetization and hopefully get that little check mark next to my name, since, it's not Twitter here. And I really would love to see that action plan work, because I think it's a great opportunity. They're pushing shorts so much that I've seen people who have been for years successful with horizontal video that they are asking for donations. They never ask for donations ever. And the cost of them traveling to see different people, they finally started to ask for it because of how bad the viewership is for horizontal. So I think that's the next big thing. What are some of the most interesting or surprising facts about the history and culture of YouTube that most people do not know? I think maybe that thing I mentioned before where there was a picture that you could put behind your channel. I just remember that being so cool. I put, it was this very artistic picture of a New York City street, and being from Ohio, I felt it was very, very artistic. And I think a lot of people just don't remember because maybe they were too young, and I think that's surprising for me, at least. And okay, so we're back at the beginning, and I want to thank you for watching this video. I will make more of them because, ChatGPT is just really good at coming up with questions, and then I just use a simple script to create these images and flip through them with OBS. So it's really easy. Oh, how long was this? A half an hour. Wow. I definitely am not used to talking this long. I can feel it in my jaw and my throat. I need to drink some water, but I'm excited to pump out some of these because they seem really easy content to react to. Now, if the audio sounds bad right now, it's because I'm just using the camera's microphone, and it may be bad. But I don't worry, because I have a regular microphone that is more like a podcast sound, and it's really easy for me to use it. I just didn't really want to hold it up for a half an hour. I'll have to figure out sort of a place to put it. And I always think it's a little weird when you see a microphone in someone's face. But I could also try a clip microphone. I have some of those, and see if that's better. And this was just a big test. And I will have, if there's any topic that you want me to answer questions from, just leave them in a comment below and I will try and get those up. It seems like these 20 questions were really good for creating about a half an hour. I was aiming for more of an hour actually. I was hoping an hour, but half an hour is okay for the start, so maybe I need to try 30 questions or maybe 40 questions. Who knows? So I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one or in the shorts feed.